Welcome to CuraLeaf, New York. Come on in. Hi, my name is Lanett Austin. I am the Director of Human Resources and Outreach for CuraLeaf, New York.
Hi, my name is Mike Conway. I'm the Director of Dispensary Operations for CuraLeaf, New York.
So from the outreach perspective, we break up our outreach into 3 different departments. First being patient education, we have practitioner education, and we have community education. Our community education is about exactly that, inviting the community to come in and know that we are a great community member, introducing and educating law enforcement, for example, and educating the difference between the illicit market and the legal market. When it comes to our practitioner education, that's focused on our doctors and the medical industry and ensuring that our doctors and our practitioners are aware of this program and how this medicine works, how this cannabis works as a medicine. And then from the patient perspective, our education is about ensuring that our patients and potential patients know about the program and how they can become a patient and access more affordable and safer medicine. So how outreach looks to the community, we have several of educational information events. One that we highlight and do quite often is called our Get Carded event. And that is an event that's focused about the New York State Medical Marijuana Program and how people can access this program in medicine here at CuraLeaf. And so these events are about education of medical cannabis, the program, understanding if they're qualified, how to actually interact and come in contact with practitioners. And then from there, they're able to get certified right there at that location and then be able to come into a CuraLeaf New York dispensary and access medicine. Other events that we host quite often are things like Canna Yoga. So we're incorporating cannabis into a yoga class, and that's open to the public, as well as cooking with cannabis. So these are all very much lifestyle type of events that we incorporate education through cannabis to bring to our community. So in order to attend our events, all you have to do is show up. That's the best part about showing up to our events. All of our events are free, and it's about coming in and understanding the community, learning about who CuraLeaf is, what this New York State Medical Marijuana Program offers, and if you qualify. And you do not need a card at all to show up to any of these events that we host, as well as you don't need a card to show up and get a tour of one of our facilities, our dispensaries.
So I'm the Director of Dispensary Operations, and what that entails is kind of exactly what it sounds like. Anything that happens in the dispensary regarding patient care or compliance or operations falls under me. So we do have pharmacists that run our dispensaries, so it's my job to make sure that those pharmacists and the teams under them are offering the best patient care that we possibly could. So we really made this out to be like an independent pharmacy of old, where you come in, everyone knows your name, we know about your family, we know everything really about you, to make sure that we're giving the best possible care that we can. And this is how pharmacies used to be. Right now, pharmacies are a little bit more of a pill mill or assembly line. You don't get really that one-on-one conversation with the pharmacist, but we brought that back here because cannabis is a very important medicine, and having pharmacists on staff is so invaluable to what we do to make sure that our patients feel better.
So welcome to our CuraLeaf New York. When you first walk in, we have this great welcome area here where you're going to check in with our receptionist, and that's where you're going to go one or two ways. Option 1, say this is your first time and you want to know information, this is going to be the stop where you come in, get the information, and find out how you can access more medicine. Track 2 is where you're going to check in with your certification and your New York State Medical Marijuana card. And once you're checked in, we're going to take you to the middle dispensing area, and you're going to meet Mike next.
Welcome to Dispensary. So after a patient goes through our reception area, we do have really 1 of 2 tracks that somebody can go on. If a patient has been here before, much like any other dispensary or any other pharmacy, they would go right up to the counter and be able to purchase the medication that best fits them, because they've already had the conversation with their doctor and the pharmacist, and they can just go up and get what works for them. If they would like a secondary consultation, happy to have one and happy to sit down as many times as the patient wants to talk. But if it is a patient's first time or they would like another consultation, we would take them into the back. In here, dinners where they would come with the pharmacist to sit down and talk through what works for them. We have on display a lot of our educational material. There are a lot of different types of cannabis that they can use and consume that can help them in different ways, because each form of administration has different effects, has different length of onset effects, and helps in different ways. So we sit down and we go over a folder that includes know your medicine, educational material, and other pieces that are helpful for the patient.
One of the reasons that CuraLeaf New York is really so successful in this industry is that, first and foremost, we pride ourselves and we believe at CuraLeaf New York that medical cannabis should be affordable, accessible, and high quality. And so therefore, that is what we are constantly embracing as education. We're trying to fight that stigma that it is affordable, it is accessible, and it is high quality. And so we're able to bring that from the outreach perspective in ensuring that our education is about the free home delivery that we're offering for accessibility, that we have the best prices completely across this industry for affordability, and that we have truly homegrown products right here in New York that are top quality by our amazing team. And then bringing that into the dispensary and ensuring that we have the best customer care. It's truly a recipe for success, but it's all built on educating our community on those three talking points, such as accessibility, affordability, and top quality.
We know that our patients drive by other dispensaries to come visit us. We know that. We know where they come from. We know where the other dispensaries are in the state, and they tell us that they have gone and tried the other dispensaries when they pop up in their town, and then they come back to us because they understand that we put patient care and education at the top of everything we do, as well as our quality of the medication. So they go and try out the competition. We almost encourage that because we know that they're going to come back to us because of the care that they receive. And I think that's why around the country we're so successful, because of that patient care and quality being the top of mind.
Our average patient right now is between 55 and 65 years old, and specifically a female. And the qualifying conditions that we see quite often are chronic pain and cancer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the department and Governor Cuomo added PTSD and chronic pain about a year and a half ago, and that was really real game changer for the program as a whole, to allow patients to come in. It kind of broadens what does it mean to need medical cannabis, and we've seen an influx of patients come in with chronic pain and PTSD when that was enacted, because a lot of people live with chronic pain and a lot of people live with PTSD, and it's great that we're able to kind of help these patients, especially chronic pain. Opioid substitution is also a qualifying condition, so being able to take people who have gotten addicted to opioids and being able to potentially wean them off of that with the help of cannabis and with the help of the consultation of the pharmacist has been truly tremendous. I mean, the common misconception that I see the most in the community is that there's still lack of knowledge that there is a medical cannabis program, or that it's almost impossible to get a card. And that's really not the case. I mean, I suggest people come to the Get Carded events, or just come to a dispensary, and we can help you find a practitioner in your area. We have the list from the Department of Health. There are a lot of practitioners that are certifying, and I think people don't recognize what does chronic pain mean? What does what do some of these qualifying conditions mean? And I think when the program first started, it was really difficult to get a card. I think there was a lot of misconception that you had to be with a terminal illness to even be considered for a card, and I think that's stuck with the program. And I think once people do come in and recognize that, oh wow, I can get a card because I have chronic back pain, amazing, let me do that. And I also think I have a misconception about who our patients are. Our patients are 55 to 65, and I think there's an idea when we come into some communities, or at least it was almost 2 years ago when we came into our communities, that people think that cannabis users are a certain archetype, and cannabis users span ages and different walks of life.
To that also misconception is people are under the assumption that the only way to consume is by smoking. And there are several different routes of administration that we offer here at CuraLeaf, such as tablets, whether it's capsules, vaping absolutely is an option. We have our great CuraChews, which is a chewable tablet, gel product form that people can use. And so these are all different routes of administration that people can access cannabis in a more transparent and a more discreet way.
And I want to speak to the seniors, 75% of seniors, that statistic. I mean, seniors in that age group of 55 to 65 are what I've heard sitting in a lot of consultations are there's so much stigma around opioids, and there's so much danger around opioids. What we're seeing is as people are aging and their aches and pains are starting to take over, there are people that do not want to move into opioids. They don't want to become a part of that opioid crisis. And so this is actually becoming much more of a, not taboo to talk about with your doctor anymore, because I don't want to go and get on an opioid to help with my back pain because I don't want to get addicted and I don't want to have a problem with that. Is cannabis something that I can work with? And as doctors become more comfortable talking about that, so are patients being able to be more comfortable to kind of bring that up. I think that stigma is starting to break as you see more states not only become legal medically, but become legal adult use, that stigma of being able to talk about cannabis is going away, and it's really helping people, move out of this, terrible addiction. So yeah, we were the first to roll out, ground flower for vaporization. And again, this is the stigma that Lanett was talking about, smoking is not the only way that you can consume cannabis, not only with, the oils and the tinctures, but also with flower. And it's actually much safer to have flower in a vapable form. And we rolled that out to great success. It's a form, even though it's not in that stigma form of having to smoke it. It's in a familiar form to patients. They understand flower. So some people who haven't quite been able to wrap their minds around taking a tincture or taking a chew or a capsule for their cannabis to help them with their pain, or even a cartridge that has that has oil, they're able to see and touch and feel this form that they're used to, and I think that's very helpful too, because some people just have blockers in their own mind about like, well, I want to get into cannabis, but I don't want to take a tincture, I don't want to vape from a cartridge, I want to feel the cannabis, and that's what we're able to provide by offering a vapable form of flower.
Well, I will say from a patient and an employee perspective, it really just depends and varies on that patient. And so that's what's really exciting about our product line, because there are so many different options for people's lifestyle. They're able to choose more than one route of administration, different products. So something maybe is more effective for them during daytime relief, maybe something different that they need to get as well for evening. And so you have that flexibility with our product line for that. My personal favorite product, I absolutely love our tinctures. And that's because it is a very versatile product where it's something that you can use topically on the skin and maybe incorporate with the lotion for aches and pains. But it's also something that you can use sublingual for release for a longer period of time. So my personal favorite product is absolutely our tincture.
That is the fun thing about cannabis being also so new for medication for people, because our pharmacists are trained to offer that education, to talk patients through, okay, you're used to a certain way to consume cannabis, why not try something else? And the tincture is actually something that we see a lot of our patients, young and old, taking advantage of because it is so versatile. As a patient, it is also my favorite form of administration. It's something that I would have never thought going into maybe an adult use dispensary in another state that I would be interested in to help me with some of the symptoms that I'm trying to alleviate. But this super versatile product is amazing, and I wouldn't have had that opportunity had I not gone into a medical environment and talk to a pharmacist and being able to say, you know what, let me try this. Let me see what this is about. And I think that's the beautiful thing about us, and it goes back to the conversation about why CuraLeaf is so successful around the country. It's because of that patient care, because we have the conversation and we listen to patients, and we don't just think we know what they want when they come in. We're not pigeonholing somebody into, oh, they look like they're just going to want flour. Let's just give them flour and get them out the door. We sit them down and talk to them about their symptoms, about what they're going through, what other medications are they taking, and really help them land on maybe it's not a high THC product that you're looking for. We also have 1-to-1 and 1-to-20 THC to CBD, and CBD is very important for therapeutic outcomes, and that's something that we also talk to patients about. And somebody may have come in thinking that they want the euphoric feeling of a 20-to-1 high THC product, but really what they want is the anti-anxiety type of properties of a high CBD product, and they leave knowing that we listened, cared, and took care of them.
So yeah, our cultivation facility, our entire processing facility is located in Ravenna. So it's about 20 minutes south of Albany. And as you said, here in New York, we're very proud that CuraLeaf New York, we are vertically integrated, meaning we own the entire process from seed to sale, from farm to table. And so there at our manufacturing facility, it is built of our chemical engineers, we have scientists, we have people with a horticulture, agriculture background. Manufacturing is an entire state-of-the-art facility that provides and grows and cultivates our plants, nourishes them with the irrigation system. We do extraction process, and from there we do our packaging and manufacturing. So it's a very impressive facility with an entire team dedicated to quality assurance and compliance to ensure that we're testing at our state Department of Health standards, as well as it goes to the state for additional testing as well.
Yeah, it's very important to us, and it's very important to the community that this is grown by New Yorkers for New Yorkers, and also the strict process that we have to go from the seed to the end product for the patient. It goes through a lot of steps. It goes through a lot of very important quality assurance processes. So you know that what you're getting from us is of the highest quality that's been tested by the New York Department of Health. And again, that's just something that you don't get from an illicit market. You don't know what you're consuming potentially dangerous, and you know when you come into a CuraLeaf that you're getting something that has been grown in New York, safe, quality, and it's been tested by the Department of Health, and that this is a safer option than anything you can find elsewhere.
Absolutely. I mean, we joke about it all the time. We're like, you wouldn't eat at everyone's home, but yet you would consume anyone's cannabis off the street. So take that logic and visit a CuraLeaf.
It's difficult to talk about other states because each state is so different, because regulations are, I mean, you can go with a fine-tooth comb and look through all the regulations and see all the nuances and differences, but the one thing that is unique to New York, it's very different, is the presence of a pharmacist in the dispensary. And I think that other states could really learn something from that, because patients coming into a dispensary want to talk to the pharmacist. The pharmacists are one of the most trusted professions in the country because of the one-on-one conversations that you have in your corner drugstore. And so being able to have that person and resource available in the dispensary is so important, and that's not something that we see in other states. And I think that that's a really important difference of New York.
Here at CuraLeaf New York, we are very committed to advocating and being a part of that conversation of legislation. And so we definitely, again, going back to what we really believe here at CuraLeaf New York, that cannabis should be accessible, affordable, and high quality is very much of importance. So that's exactly what we're advocating for, the expansion of this medical program so that we can move into more communities so people have access. Currently right now, with the limited number of dispensaries that we have some patients that are traveling up to 3 hours each way to access their medicine because there's only one dispensary in their area. Things like that with people with chronic conditions, it's just really not right, and just we don't feel great about having potential patients have to travel that far for their medicine. So things like that are the conversations that we are having quite often at our capital or state capital, and we welcome those conversations. So here at CuraLeaf New York, we actually lead the team of bringing and advocating for our patients. We actually are taking our patients to lawmakers and having them meet with them face to face so they can see the face of true medical cannabis patients here in the program, whether it's age from 9 years old from a patient that suffered from epilepsy and they couldn't be in class because they're having 100 to 200 seizures a day, and now using medical cannabis, they are now down to 5 seizures a day and able to focus in class, up to patients that are 99 years old and with chronic pain or living with a severe disease state. So it's very important that we're being able to uplift true patients and putting a face to who our patients are with these lawmakers. And so we are actively leading that team there at our state capitol. So with the law enforcement education, that is something different. And so with the law enforcement education aspect, it is truly about educating about this program. And not everyone necessarily is going to be a patient, and we understand that, but we do want people to really understand what cannabis is, understand the legal aspect of things. And it's important to know what does a legal product from CuraLeaf and from the medical marijuana program look like versus something off the illicit market. And that is a huge gap currently that we have just in this community of education to our law enforcement, that they are ensuring that they have the right communication and right information and right education and knowing what a legal product looks like and what those labels are and how it should be consumed and what does a card look like. The list goes on. And so we're able to bridge that gap with CuraLeaf with our education focused on educating our law enforcement. Our current director of security is former Chief of Police for Queens County, and we're very proud to be led by former Chief of Police, as well as our current staff is either current law enforcement or former law enforcement.
It is very important for law enforcement education to protect our patients, because if someone is stopped with cannabis in their vehicle, put away in a glove box in a safe area, we want to make sure that the law enforcement is educated that this is somebody's medication that they need, that they have gone to a doctor and they've talked to a pharmacist about, to ensure that they're safe and feel safe in their communities driving around with their medication, because that is a concern that patients have. Again, the stigma of cannabis, when they come in, they're concerned about, well, if I'm just going about my daily life and following all the rules, am I going to be put in harm's way at any opportunity? So it's important for us to invite law enforcement into the dispensary or go to them to explain exactly what this program is about, and like Lanett said, ensure that we're showing them what does our medication look like, what does the certification look like, what does the card look like, what can they expect, what are the rights and responsibilities of a patient, so they can look out for those things, and also be able to discern what is the illicit market and what is safe and legal medical cannabis.
When we talk about community, it gets really fun and fascinating, but there's so many different aspects to it. So we do trainings such as caregivers is a huge part of that as well, because people actually do need to rely on others. And so with our state program, they are allotted up to 2 additional caregivers to access on their behalf. But in addition, we have social workers that need the education. They have many patients and community members. So this is an education that's not just limited to just being a community member, but we go into all walks, all professions, and educating tailored to their need of information.
Medical cannabis is not covered by insurance. It's a cash medication, which is difficult for patients that need this medication. So we do what we can to provide as affordable of medication as possible. So we have compassionate care discounts for people on Social Security, for people on financial that have financial needs. We offer discounts for those patients. Also, we offer discounts for veterans, because it's not covered for veterans as well to be able to purchase this medication with any financial assistance from government programs. So we do what we can. We offer a lot of discounts, as many as we possibly can over the months and weeks, to be able to make this product as affordable as we possibly can, because we do believe that accessibility is really important for just this community to grow in general, and the best way to do that is offer a quality product at an affordable price. enterprise?
So from the human resources aspect, it's very important to me. I really want to highlight that the fact is that all of our locations are as diverse as the state of New York. And because we are vertically integrated, it's just so much opportunity, not only just in this industry, but specifically here at CuraLeaf New York, that we are constantly hiring. From that seed to sale process, this is from cultivation, dispensary operations, marketing, human resources, finance. We are no different than any other company or industry in that aspect. So we're very committed to diversity. We take all walks of life, and so we just want to welcome each and everyone to visit a CuraLeaf and see if they have an employment opportunity near them. And going into the fact is that we are completely accessible. We're open 7 days a week. We take walk-ins at any time because there is a stigma, that misconception out there that it is difficult to get a card. It could be expensive. I'm so confused. Well, we have one really quick, easy answer. Just visit a CuraLeaf. You come into your CuraLeaf, we absolutely can help fill in any of those gaps, any confusion. We make it very simple, and we're able to help you at any way step of the process. If it's finding out if you are qualified for this program, understanding what the qualifying conditions are, finding a practitioner, getting certified, registering your card, finding the best product that's going to be best for your lifestyle. And then we also have a team, we follow up and ensure that your journey and with this process is really getting the best that you're wanting to live your best life. So if any of that seems to be too much or confusing at all, one short, simple answer is just to come into any of our locations anytime, and we can help you throughout this process.